Hey everybody, it's Makaya and welcome back to your favorite webisodes, Let's Talk. So with that being said, y'all know what it is. Let's talk. Let's sit and have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk. Before we get into anything, can y'all see this? Y'all see the hell? Y'all see the color? Do y'all see it? Okay, we went from ginger to chocolate brown. It looks darker on the camera than it is in person, but that's all right. It's still cute. I'm really happy with it. Y'all get at my girl Tamika. Okay, no, seriously, before we start this video, I want to give a big shout out to this LT member. Listen, I love you guys. I love the support that you give me. Like, I love the encouragement that you guys give me. Thank you for your views. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for praying for a girl. I love y'all for real. Don't forget to comment because you get a shout out. Come on. Let's get with it. Let's get with it. And while you commenting, if you haven't liked, share, or subscribe, like and subscribe. With that being said, let's get into this video. So guys, truthfully, I don't think this is gonna be a long video because I don't really have much to say, but let's be honest, every time I say I don't think this is gonna be a long video, it ends up being a long video. So we'll see what happens. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all, God kind of switched the topic of this video today. It was supposed to be something else, but then he switched it, but he usually does that, so I should be used to it. But you know what? We just gonna roll with whatever he say. So the title of this video is Don't Just Talk It, Walk It. And I know y'all probably like, girl, what is you talking about? All I'm saying is live what you preach. Don't just preach something and not live it. If you gonna preach it, then you need to live it. As believers, as saints, as the body of Christ, as the children of the Lord, as citizens of heaven, there is a lot of spotlight on us. Like, listen, we can't just say stuff and people take it lightly. Like, I feel like if nobody else got people looking at them, we got people looking at them. Like, you tell somebody you a Christian and their eyes are like glued to you know what I mean? Like, is it just me? Is it just me that feels that way? And so a lot of times we get caught up in the things that we say, and we focus so much on what we say and what we are saying and how we sound and our outward appearance and how we look and all these things that we kind of forget that people are also watching how we live. Now, I know. For some of us, that is annoying that people are watching how we live, but it's the reality. Like, they watch Jesus, boo. They most definitely gonna watch us. And I'm finding it more and more that a lot of saints are saying one thing, but their actions says a different thing. And if I can just be honest with you, what you do will always outweigh what you say. All right. Let me get into how we got here today. So I went out to eat with some coworkers, and they're not saved. They believe in Jesus, but you know, one of them is getting there. The other ones are, we love them. Anyway, we're all sitting at the table. We're chilling. The waitress comes and she starts getting everyone's drinks and asking them about drinks, and everyone's ordering. And when she gets to me, before I could even say what I want, everyone's like, oh, Makai doesn't drink. She's the preacher. She doesn't drink. She can't have any alcohol. So please bring her something that has no alcohol in it. And the waitress just kind of looks at me, and I'm like, yeah, they're right. I don't drink. Can you just like bring me a lemonade? And she's like, okay, cool. And so she goes to get, like, you know, everyone's water, soda, and blah, 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 blah. And she comes back, and before I can go to take a sip of my lemonade, one of my coworkers goes, wait. Give me your drink. And I was like, why? She's like, give me your drink. Let me make sure that there is no alcohol in it. Which is true, because that happens. You know, you can order a drink that comes from the bar, like from the bartender place people, and you can say no alcohol and they still put alcohol in your drink. if you've been there, you know what I mean. So she goes, wait, no, let me make sure. And I was like, okay. She was like, yeah, I gotta make sure you're good. Like, no, we can't have you out here drinking. And I was like, okay. I gave her my cup and she was like, okay, you're fine. I was like, thanks. We went on with the night. And throughout the course of the night, there were other things that were happening. Like the bartender asked about shots and they were like, Makai the preacher, she don't drink, she don't do that. She don't need none of that. None of that. If you want to bring her something, bring some water. Don't bring her no, don't bring her no alcohol. She don't, we not doing that over here. And so honestly, I just really laughed at them. I didn't really pay them any mind. I was just like, ha 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 ha, y'all funny or whatever. And I was just enjoying ourselves, enjoying our conversation and enjoying my wings. Hallelujah. So we all say goodbye, we leave, and on the way home, the Lord starts to replay the night. And while he's replaying the night, I'm like, God, why are you what are you trying to get from me? Like, what are you trying to get me to see? And he says to me, when you live what you preach, you won't have to speak. And I said, huh? And he says, when you live what you preach, you won't have to speak. And I said, oh, interesting, but true. You see, Jesus didn't have to tell people he was the Messiah. Jesus didn't have to tell people that, he did miracles and he did this. He just lived the life. And because he lived the life, people paid attention because something was different about him. See, I didn't have to tell the waitress I don't drink because the people around me knew the life that I lived. So they were like, she don't do that. She don't do that. Don't bring that over here because she don't do that. That's the preacher. She does not do that. When you live the lifestyle, when you are doing what you're supposed to do, when you are walking this walk of salvation, of true submission to the Lord, true submission to the will of the Lord and what the Lord requires of you, when you are truly being a light, okay, that is set up on the hill, when you are doing that, that will speak for you. You won't have to say much. You won't have to be like, oh yeah, I'm a Christian. Like, your life will speak for you. People will walk up to you and be like, you know what? There's something different about you. You know what? I don't know what it is, but something about you speaks very differently than these other people around here. And the Lord started to bring up different events that happened in my life, even in high school. Like, I remember strategically, on WhatsApp, and they would have those things like, oh, send me a number, and then they would send you like a list of questions and you would have to answer the question that they sent you or something like that. And one of my classmates posted one and I sent a number and he was like, no, you can't do this. I was like, he's like, Micaiah, this is not for you. Okay, this one ain't for you. And I started to get a little offended, but then the Holy Ghost was like, no, baby, that's your life speaking for you. That's your life speaking for you. That's your life going before you. The lifestyle that you live, speaks louder than the words you can say. And a lot of us are so caught up on trying to push the word down the throat of the people, trying to condemn people, trying to convict people, trying to give people Jesus, but you're saying Jesus with your mouth, but your life is saying something completely different. And the truth is, if you walk the walk that you're supposed to walk, that's what people will see, and that's what will draw the people. Am I saying don't witness? No. Am I saying don't preach? No. What I'm saying is, if you gonna talk it, walk it. If you gonna preach it, if you gonna speak it, live it. Because when you truly live your life to please the Lord, those around you will see it. And this is not to brag or this is not to boast, but in high school, was I perfect in high school? Absolutely not. I had my slip ups, okay? But I lived a life. And because I lived a life, there are people now, people I didn't even know were paying attention to me. When I come back in contact with them, be like, girl, I remember you from high school. I remember how much you loved the Lord. And it inspired me so much. And now I'm saved. And it's just like, people you've never even opened your mouth to. But because you are doing what you're supposed to do, because you're living the life that you're supposed to live, it's ministering to someone else. So if you're going to open up your mouth and profess salvation and profess this Christian walk and profess that I am giving my life to the Lord and I am submitting my ways to Him, your ways better line up with what you saying, baby. Because people aren't being turned away from the gospel really by what people are saying, but it's by what people are living. Because a lot of us are saying the right things, but we're not living the right things. You got to ask yourself, am I being hypocritical? I know that was kind of rough one there. Just say ouch. Just say ouch. But you really got to ask yourself, am I a hypocrite? Am I speaking things and not living these things? Am I saying that you shouldn't be doing this? Am I saying that you shouldn't be fornicating, you shouldn't be smoking, you shouldn't be lying, you shouldn't be cussing? And I'm over here doing the same stuff. Am I getting on people for gossiping? But then when I go to get my hair done, I'm sitting in the shop listening to all the latest tea. Come on. Am I over here telling people that, oh yeah, you need to read your word? But I ain't picked up my Bible in 3 weeks. 4 months. Sitting in dust. Am I being holy on Sunday, but living like a harlot through the week? These are the questions we got to ask ourselves. These are the questions we have to ask ourselves. We got to be real with ourselves. It's time for us to be real. Are we really walking this walk out? Because the truth is, a lot of people think being a Christian is all cute. Being a Christian, I remember when TikTok first went booming and everybody was like jumping on the I'm saved because it was this whole clout thing. Like it was cool to be like saved, like Maverick City, yeah. It was this real cool thing at that point in time. But this is just more than just a fad. Being a Christian is more than just a trend. This walk of faith is more than just something that's popular. This is a lifestyle. And you got to be really ready and committed to this lifestyle. Because when you live what you preach, you won't have to speak. Jesus didn't have to speak. Jesus showed up. People saw what he did. People saw how he carried himself. The woman with the issue of blood, Jesus never spoke to her. She heard about him. Hello. She heard about him and made up in her mind, if I can touch the hem of his garment, then I will be made whole. People came and found Jesus because they heard about him. What are people hearing about you? Are people hearing that you're a woman of God? Are people hearing that you're a man of God? Or are people hearing that you're a gossiper? Or are people hearing you ain't too honest? Are people hearing you're mean? Are people hearing you're nasty? What are people hearing about you? Jesus' life spoke for him. Jesus didn't have to promote himself. He just showed up and did what he was supposed to do. Jesus stayed true to who he was. The Son of God. God in flesh, okay? The Word became flesh. Jesus was just him. Jesus wasn't trying to be anything. He was just being. A lot of us are trying to be things instead of just being. Be you. Be who God has called you to be. Live the life that you've been called to live. Just be. Don't try. Just be. That's why you're called a human being, because you were called to just be. Does that make sense? So, I say all of that to say, don't just talk it. Walk it, man. Because people are watching. And not only are people watching, you don't want to die and go to heaven and Jesus and God looks at you and say, who are you? What have you done with my son? God, I preached in your name. God, I called out demons in your name. God, I did this in your name. But where was your lifestyle? Where was your relationship? You had no relationship with me. You had no walk with me. You had no life with me. Your mouth said one thing, but your heart was far from me. Move, get away, depart, because I do not know you. We gotta take this thing serious. Because every word we speak, the Lord is listening to. Everything we do, the Lord is watching. You don't want to be sitting up here playing yourself. God, I did this in your name. I did that in your name. Da, 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 da. Okay, but what have you done with my son? Who are you? Me and you have no relationship. I know who you are because I created you, but personally, we have no relationship. When you live this lifestyle, when you actually put your relationship with God first, you won't have to speak. Your life will speak for you. Jesus' life spoke for him. Joseph's life spoke for him. Come on. When you do what you are supposed to do, your life will speak for you. All right. That's it. That's all I got to say. No, the really and truly, that's all I got to say. That's really the video. Stop just talking it and walk it. People are waiting to see an example, man. There's some people who are waiting for you to walk this thing out. There's some people who are waiting to see what this thing really looks like. They're looking for real people. The Lord is coming back for a real people, a people with a real relationship, a people who didn't just talk, but a people who walked what they preached. Come on, that's who God is looking for. He ain't looking for no play. It's time out for the play. You grown, come on. Get it together. So, all right, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, leave a comment, because you never know when you will get a shout out. But yeah, don't just talk it, y'all. Walk it. Remember, your flaws plus God equals flawless. And go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Bye.